Well, what's up, good people and Eagle fans? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Wow. Back here at the Red Brick House, and so nice to be back here. It's gotten cold as can be, and in fact, I think it's going to be down in single digits by Sunday night here. So, like I was saying, if you don't like the weather here in Virginia, just wait 24 hours. It'll change because it was literally 61 degrees just 2 days ago. Speaking of being left in the cold, wow, the left hand up have been left out in the cold. I was just talking to my dad a couple hours ago because I was over at his house there taking care of some stuff for my parents and things and looking out for them and finding out his bets for Bet US. And I was saying it looks like the Commanders are going to be moving back to DC because supposedly DC was going to get control of the federal lands, which is where RFK is, and that basically they were working on a deal with the Commanders to basically tear down the old stadium, RFK site, which is full of toxic chemicals and asbestos and everything else, and is completely an eyesore. It's abandoned. I think it's probably going to be on one of the Discovery Channel's, mysteries of the abandoned. But it looked like everything was hunky dory for that. But here's the problem: the original bill that they had, which tonight at midnight, the government might be shut down if they don't reach an agreement, which sucks because we're talking about TSA agents and things not being able to do their job when everybody's traveling for the holidays. And we're talking about people not getting their Social Security checks and the military not getting their checks and everything else that might be a little cray-cray. But one of the things that was in that bill that is no longer in there is the funding for the transfer of federal lands to the District of Columbia, in which case they were going to be leasing the site to the Commanders. And this whole thing has been a big fight. Let me for one say I've been happy that it would go back to either Maryland or to DC, because I don't want it in Virginia, because I don't want to pay for a dime. I don't want to put a dime towards the Commanders. And actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be 100% real with you. With the NFL owners that are multi-billionaires and people like the Cowboys that their business is worth $10 billion, and they are literally, if you have YouTube TV, the Sunday package, and you're paying for, Amazon and Netflix and all that, we're spending close to $1,400 a year just to be able to watch football. Just to be able to watch football, we're talking about $1,400 per household. And for us, our taxpayer dollars to pay for the damn stadiums, and then have to turn around and spend how much for a ticket? And if you're watching the Cowboys, seeing a shit show right now, no, I don't want to put any of my tax dollars, I've been taxed enough, towards the Commanders. So this now leaves that deal in doubt, where it seems like the Commanders and the Redskins can never get a break, because if you have been a Commanders fan or been in the Washington, D.C. area, when Jack Kent Cooke owned the Redskins at the time and wanted to build a stadium at RFK, Sharon Pratt Kelly basically was like, nah, we ain't doing that. So then they tried to build it in Alexandria, Potomac Yards, where Ted Luancis tried to go ahead and take the Wizards and the Capitals. Same location. At that time, there was nothing but train tracks there. And the people out, they actually did the groundbreaking there. They did the groundbreaking there. People of Alexandria said, no, we don't want your crappy ass team here. Okay? They then tried to go to Richmond. They talked about over by Dulles Airport, be finally getting FedEx Field, where Jack Kent Cooke decided, we're going to call the place Raljohn. Okay? Even though it's Landover, we're going to name it after Ralph and John. We're going to call it Raljohn, and we're going to say it's a place. Be that as it may, I can at least say I respect him for using his own money to build that trashy ass stadium in a hurry before he died. Of course, nobody liked Dan Snyder. Nobody liked Dan Snyder at all. In fact, over in Landover, the Maryland governor said, "We'll build the infrastructure. We'll build like a mall around it. We'll build the roads, but we're not helping with the stadium. If you want to build the stadium, go right ahead, but we're not putting a dime in it." Virginia wanted it, and they were talking about trying to put it in Woodbridge at a spot. Then I looked at that spot. I did a video and showed y'all where it is. Listen, you don't want to drive 95 just to get home on a regular day. If it were to be a Monday night football game there, the traffic to get there with no metro stop, it would be horrendous. Now, there's a spot that I think would be good if it did have to go to Virginia. It is out by Dulles Airport, but it's actually on the Dulles Toll Road, and it is close to the airport. There's already hotels out there. It's on the toll road. It's on Route 28 that's out there, and there's a metro stop. So if you were to do it in Virginia, and I'm not recommending it, that would be the place that it should go if it were in Virginia. But the best place for it to go is right there in at the old RFK site, because that's an area that definitely needs to be redeveloped. And that old stadium needs to be knocked down. And the way DC has grown, which now has almost 750,000 people, the highest amount of people that have ever been there, they're running out of places they can put stuff. So who knows what happens now? Oh, mind you, there was some finagling and things to get this thing done, because DC is controlled by Congress. And so the Maryland people didn't want to make it easy for DC. So they wanted to get something out of it. And so basically it was, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So with Maryland losing the commanders, they wanted to get something. So I think they had worked out something where they were going to get more jets or something like that in Maryland or something or other. It was all kind of crazy and convoluted. But now that whole deal is kind of dead, as we don't even know if the government's going to be open, much less if the commanders are going to have a home in the near future. But I'm going to say that toxic waste dump, FedEx Field, where they have a lease on it till 2027, I don't know that place is going to be able to hold up for a couple more years. That place is literally falling to the ground. Peace out.